Thanks for coming to hear the Word on the Street. Ooh, I am your haunt host, Vince, and I've been caught and hogtied with an ethereal rope by your lasso host, Josh. How are you doing today, Josh?
Oh, I'm wonderful. How was your day?
It was fine. Just I had the day off today, so it was nice. Got my shopping in
nice
order.
Day off, huh?
Yeah. Won't happen again for another 6 weeks. Actually, no,
another Monday
vacation coming up.
You mean?
Yeah. 6 weeks is about how it goes. But I do have a vacation coming up, so hopefully I'll get some time out there.
Well, and next Monday is Memorial Day, so.
Oh yeah, that's when my vacation starts. Actually.
Oh.
I never know when the Monday holidays come. Like, I like just looking at my work schedule and being like, oh, nice, a holiday.
Yeah, that's true.
So, welcome, listeners. Here at Word on the Street, we choose one of 28 words generated from the puzzle word game Wordle. Today, we're choosing words from May 15th to the 21st. And you can see what those words are at Word on the Street on our social medias. And hopefully, if you're listening to us, go ahead and type us up what you think. Send it over to us. But without further ado, go ahead and get into the episode. I am first this week, right?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. All right. The word that I chose this week is koala.
Yeah, I have no idea what to expect from this. I saw this as your selection, and I was like, what is he going to talk about?
It's going to be kind of fun.
I was like, what does your brain think about when you think of koala? Because I was trying to think of something like random and different.
Nope.
But I couldn't think of anything. I was like, I don't know where he's going with this. So I'm
know
intrigued.
what my brain thinks of?
Yeah.
Koalas.
Koalas?
Now, I never claimed to be original. I already stole one segment from another podcaster, and today I'm going to steal another segment from my best friend, Josh, and we're going to make a tier list.
Oh, okay.
So there you go. Just sent you over a link in our Discord, and you can go ahead and click on that, and we are going to be ranking the best marsupials.
Oh, what an activity!
Yeah,
the best marsupials. Okay,
yep, best marsupials. I have notes on each of them. There should be 10 in here. I'll go ahead and read them off now. We got the Bilby, the kangaroo, the koala, the Numbat, the opossum, the quokka, the sugar glider, the Tasmanian devil, the wallaby, and the wombat. These are the 10 marsupials that I've chosen. And we can go through. I have sort of what I've deemed a positive trait of each of these animals and a negative trait of them. So do you want me to just go?
Yeah, so you're gonna tell me these, and then after you do, then we're gonna rank these.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Precisely.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Go for it.
All right. We'll start off with the Bilby. You ever heard of a Bilby?
I've heard of it, but I've never seen one before. All
right. I would encourage you to Google these as we are going along. The tier list pictures are kind of small. So yeah, Bilby is like, I don't know, all marsupials are kind of weird. I encourage the listeners to go ahead and Google these as I talk about them too. Bilby.
It's a bunny rat.
Kinda, yeah. That's all marsupials are, bunny rats. Just differing sizes of them.
Yeah, but like the ears.
Except for the Tasmanian devil.
The ears on this one just make me think bunny.
Yep. Interesting thing. A sort of a unifying trait of marsupials is that they store fat in their tails. So like as they get fat or skinny, their bodies don't change all that much, their tails do, which kind of makes for some funny pictures if you're looking for a picture to use on a tier list plaque.
There's a Bilby movie apparently.
Interesting. Anyway, so the Bilby, the positive facts that I have about them is they are prolific tunnelers. They can have like a 10-foot tunneling system, which is apparently quite a bit. To put that in perspective, like these things are about a third the size of a groundhog, and that's about the extent that a groundhog den does too. So they have like huge dens that they burrow. Also, their pouch is backwards. Normally, like their pouch opens up like toward their face, but their pouch opens up toward their butt. I didn't know what to do with that, so I put it in positive traits.
Wait, open. So like it opens going down?
Yeah, like it's on their back.
Oh.
And it opens up toward their butt.
Oh, okay.
Or maybe not. Maybe it's still on their front, but it still opens up toward their hind legs rather than their front legs.
Yeah.
And also, apparently, maybe the movie actually explains this particular point. I didn't see it, but I was searching for like other facts. But Australians, there have been petitions to replace the Easter bunny with an Easter Bilby in Australia.
I could see it.
Yeah.
I mean, just this.
It would be cool.
Hold on, I'll send it to you. Just this image alone that I found totally gives me that vibe.
Okay.
Easter bunny vibes.
Okay. Yeah. Yep. That's definitely.
Yeah. So for anyone listening that wants to know what we're looking at, just Google search Bilby DreamWorks animated movie, and there's a picture of the main character just chilling in some bright green grass. He's blue. Yeah. He's got a cloudy, puffy bird thing next to him. I mean,
he's making the DreamWorks face.
He looks all sorts of maniacally cute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I have positive about the Bilby. Negative, though, they have bad eyesight. It's mostly made up for by their other senses, but it does leave them vulnerable to predators while they're above ground. They spend about 80% of their life below ground, but when they come up for food or whatever, they are particularly vulnerable because these stupid idiots can't see.
Okay, so I have interjection. I have a question that is relevant to this. Are these negatives for us or for them? Like, what are we ranking
I don't know.
Negative? You know what I mean? Like, is it bad for them?
Sort of,
or is it just sort of bad overall?
Either.
Okay.
I don't know. It's when I was researching them, I would just look up like whatever fun facts, and whatever I thought sounded like a negative, I would put that as the negative. Okay. It's not entirely scientific. All right, I'm not a scientist here.
Okay. Well, I just wanted to make sure I gave all the marsupials a fair shake. So, proceed.
All right. With proceeding, I'll go on to the kangaroo. That's all you need to know about bilbies. I have one positive, one negative fact for each of these things.
Okay.
In the interest of time. So kangaroos. Kangaroos, besides looking cool, like being one of the cooler animals that we know of, just sort of on the top of our head, kangaroos' defense mechanism is also pretty cool. If they're being chased or threatened in some way, their tendency is to try to lure the attacker to water, where the kangaroo will try to drown them.
They're just savages all around.
Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly it. They're like, oh no, I'm being attacked. Oh, a river, and then they just
So he's either gonna drown you or he's gonna just turn into Mike Tyson and pummel you,
or like do a kick to you, kangaroo.
Yeah. What's
the jack? Kangaroo jack?
Yeah. Or hit you with a bicycle kick like he's Chun-Li from, or not Chun-Li. What's the dude's name? Liu Kang. Liu Kang. Yeah, Liu Kang.
But these idiots can't move backwards.
Wait, like at all?
They can't move backwards.
So they just have to turn.
They have to turn around like they're Lara Croft in the first Tomb Raider.
Now I just want somebody to make a modded version where you're playing as a kangaroo through that game.
I mean, it's exactly it. You know what? Any game with that control style from the PS1 era would work. You had to do that. Well, no, you could move backwards in Metal Gear Solid.
Yep.
So yeah, very slowly. But yeah, no, these idiots can't move backwards. So that's the negative.
Okay.
With that, we'll move on to koalas. Koalas were kind of tough. They're just kind of boring.
Yeah, they're just cute and chill.
Yeah. Compared to the rest of the animals on this, I don't even think they're that cute. They're just, I don't know.
Koalas are definitely cute.
They get more due than they're worth. So anyway.
I don't think
Joey's.
So. It's cute little bears.
Yeah, they're not bears though. You know that, right?
I know, but
okay.
They just look like a cute little bear.
Yeah. Fun fact, I don't think this was a positive or a negative, but koala, apparently in the indigenous languages around, means no water, I think. Because koalas, and actually this is another common trait among marsupials, they don't need to drink a whole lot of water. They're native to deserts. So they get most of their water from their diet.
Yeah, from eating
mainly
big
why
green plants.
Yeah, mainly why koalas like eucalyptus.
Yep.
Speaking of eucalyptus, I'll go with their negative first, actually. There are about 700 different species of eucalyptus. Unfortunately, these idiots will only eat 50 different species of them. So, like, why are they limiting themselves? Like,
my man's only like stuff on the kids menu.
I know, right? it's like I'll have the
hot dog, mac and cheese.
I'll have the eucalyptus chicken fingers, please.
Yeah.
But they're joeys, which are baby marsupials in general. They'll stay in their mother's pouch for about 6 months, and after that, they ride on their mother's backs for another 6 months. That actually is incredibly cute.
I'm looking at a picture of it right now. It's adorable.
But that is the most positive fact that I could think about for koalas. I eliminated some marsupials from the list. I couldn't eliminate koalas just because
they're too cute.
That's the marsupial that everybody knows.
Because they're adorable.
But literally, their only positive trait is that they're cute.
So they're the Hollywood marsupial.
No, they're not actually. We'll get to that later. And now for the Numbat. The Numbat is an animal that I did not know about before this, but they're actually pretty cool.
I had no idea what it was. I'm Googling it now.
Yeah, they're actually really cool. They're like a
it's got like an anteater tongue.
Squirrel.
Yeah,
they're like an anteater squirrel zebra.
Yo, this guy is dope.
Yeah, this dude's wicked cool.
Can you get these as a pet?
I don't know. I one of those sites that I kept coming back to for the research on this did ask that question for basically each one of these things. Can you keep it as a pet? So maybe you could find that site. I don't know what it was. I just recognized it by the end. But these dudes are pretty cool. They're like pest controls. That's kind of another common trait among marsupials. They like to eat other pest species. So these dudes eat termites. Their diet is almost entirely termites, and they can eat 20,000 termites in a day.
Damn.
Yeah. It's crazy. Like 20,000 of anything.
Some Takeru Kobayashi shit right there.
Yep. And now, the negative of them is that they're quite small. They range anywhere from 9.9 to 19 ounces.
Oh.
Yeah, so they are, a half to 1.5 pounds.
Yeah.
So they're pretty small, and that makes them susceptible to predators. And they have a lot of predators. To name a few is the little eagle, the collared sparrowhawk, the brown shark, the red fox, and the carpet python. So basically, anything that you can think of that eats another thing, eats these dudes.
Damn, they're the bottom of the food chain.
Yeah, I mean, termites are the bottom of the food chain because they can fucking house some termites.
Yeah.
But
bottom of the big kids table.
Yeah. And with that, we'll go on to the opossum. I will pronounce it opossum because there is actually a different species that is called possum. We don't have them in North America, so up here we just get used to saying opossum as possum because we don't have to learn a different thing. But there is a possum, but I got rid of it off this list because it was fucking boring. So we have the opossum.
I love your rationale because it was fucking boring.
Yep. I couldn't find two things that I could consider objectively positive or objectively negative, so it went. It wasn't worth getting into it. But the opossum. I love these dudes. Honestly, like the opossum gets a bad rap. People think they're ugly, and I guess I get that, but they're like badass. Their main source of food in North America is pest species. So they eat a lot of ticks. They eat a lot of mosquitoes. They eat wasps. In fact, in my backyard, when we moved into this house, we had a wasp nest, and we had an exterminator come and check out the wasp nest, and he was like, the opossum must have gotten to it before me. And it was just gone. These dudes just like stick their head into like ground bees and wasp nests and just eat them all.
Wow.
They're great. Yeah, they're great, which is why it's pretty upsetting that people like call animal control on these dudes. I've actually heard several stories of people in animal control like taking opossums and just like instead of putting them down, like just taking them somewhere else where somebody's not going to complain about them.
Yeah.
So they're pretty cool, but their defense mechanisms are pretty bullshit.
Just don't do a whole lot.
Yeah, literally do nothing. Their defense mechanism is to play dead, which is fine usually, but it's involuntary for these guys.
So it's like the fainting goats?
It's exactly like the fainting goats. It's the same. It's the same reflex as the fainting goats. They just scream and flop over.
See, that's hilarious.
It is hilarious, but with the opossum, it's less hilarious because they also release an odor at the same time that literally smells like a rotting carcass. So
it's a fainting goat skunk is what you're telling me.
Yeah, it's a fainting goat skunk. So yeah, like it's a defense mechanism, but it kind of sucks because they don't have any control over it. You know, they can't play dead and also drown someone at the same time.
See, it's really kind of ironic because they kind of like the fainting goat. Like, there's nothing really scary about the little fainting goat. It's just adorable. But the opossums are kind of like angry looking a little bit. They could, are, yeah. and then they just got that bitch maneuver to playing dead.
They got those doll's eyes. They got those dead eyes, like a doll's eyes. But no, I like these guys, which you'll see in a little while. But these, I really do think they get a bad rap. So if you're out there and you're not a fan of opossums, go ahead and take a look at how actually cool and useful they are. And let's move on to the quokka. Apparently that's how it's pronounced. I
have no idea what this is.
If I see the word, I say quokka, but apparently that's like a North American thing. So it's quokka.
That's adorable.
It sure is. And this is the positive. They are adorable. They are absolutely like, compare these dudes and koalas.
Oh, they shit on koalas.
Yeah, they shit all over.
Oh my god, they don't even look real. They're so cute.
Yep. So quokkas are known as the happiest animal on Earth. This is their positive trait. They're just so friggin' adorable. Known as the happiest animal on Earth because their mouth just looks like it's always smiling. And us, as humans, we're dumb, and we think that animals have facial expressions. So that's the positive about this dude, is he's damn cute. The negative, though, is they're basically influencers.
They just peer pressure everyone around them?
No. They're like straight up Instagram influencers with the likes of Shawn Mendes, Chris Hemsworth, Demi Lovato, Hugh Jackman, Margot Robbie, and Roger Federer, all taking selfies with them. So they've just sold out.
Huh.
That's the negative.
The negative is they're just...
Yeah, they're sellouts.
They just took the money. They took the money that they can't use.
They're fake Instagram models.
I like it. I respect it. Also, fun fact, apparently Numbats are endangered, so I don't believe you can have them as pet.
Yep. That makes sense. A lot of marsupials are actually endangered because most of them are native to Australia, and like humans just took over like 85% of the habitable area in Australia.
Yeah.
Like only about 5% of Australia is worth living on. And the humans were like, num, 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 that's mine.
Yep. Which is why my buddy Kyle, like, wouldn't really think it would happen. Like, it's a traditional thing. Like, oh, you live in Australia, you must see kangaroos all the time. Because let's be honest, they really don't in like the major city areas. But
nope.
Kyle just sends me a video one morning of just two kangaroos fighting in his backyard. It's like, man, you're falling into the stereotype.
Yeah, he's seeing kangaroos in his backyard. He's got his kangaroo scrotum coin purse.
Yep.
You remember those?
Yeah.
You remember when we found those?
Yep. I do. It was so weird.
What a weird industry.
So weird. Yep.
And sugar gliders. Do you know what a sugar glider is?
So cool.
These are actually really cool.
I want them, but you have to get two of them apparently. Or it's really, really recommended that you have two. Yeah.
Are they like guinea pigs?
I don't.
In that?
I just remember looking into it, and they recommended that they have two. Like they bond. The same thing with like chinchillas.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, so that's basically my positive of them. They're very social, so they make great pets. But if you have to have two of them, that sort of puts a damper on this positive aspect of it a little bit. But I know that guinea pigs are like this too. In fact, in the Netherlands, it's illegal to own only one guinea pig because of how social they are.
Wow.
Yeah. Apparently, if you have just one guinea pig, they develop some pretty severe depression, and it like significantly shortens their lifespan to the point that Holland has considered it animal cruelty.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. The negative of the sugar glider, though, which is an even bigger pet deterrent, is that even though they're pretty small, they grow up to the maximum they grow to is about 13 inches long and 5 ounces fully grown. Even though they're that small, they have a bark that can be louder than a dog. Like,
that's crazy to think.
Yeah. I mean, it didn't specify in the article that I saw, so I imagine like any dog. Like, imagine this little dude just like screaming louder than a husky. It's crazy.
I'm looking it up.
Oh yeah,
because I want to hear.
I'll be interested. I actually didn't bother doing that. I researched this pretty late at night, and I was like, okay, it's bedtime now, and I can't look up the sugar glider's bark. But yeah, is it really that loud?
It's pretty loud. I wouldn't say it's not as like piercing as a dog. Hold on, I'll just stream.
Yeah, stream it. All right, let's see. It's a literal squeaky toy.
Yeah, that's all it is a squeak toy. Like unless that's just unless
it's a bad mic.
Yeah.
So let's move on to the Tasmanian Devil. Obviously, the way that most of us are familiar with the Tasmanian Devil is Looney Tunes, which is surprisingly not entirely inaccurate. They don't like spin around like a whirling dervish. But their positive trait that I chose is that their bite is estimated to be around 544 kilograms per square inch. That means that regardless of species, they can bite through bones.
Oh.
Yes. So they have this incredibly strong jaw that can also open to like 80 degrees.
Wow.
Which is, I'm finding it hard to... Yeah, it's terrifying, but I'm finding it hard to think of like something to compare it to. I guess like the dad with his long mouth in Beetlejuice.
Yeah.
In the Beetlejuice movie, like the way that he opens his mouth.
Yeah.
Like it's probably like that. But yeah, these things are they're mostly scavengers. They're not very aggressive, but they are vicious, and they just eat the entirety of their prey. Like they don't leave a scrap behind. And that's pretty cool to me.
No, it is cool.
But when they're threatened, it's funny that a lot of the negatives are the defense mechanism, but the defense mechanisms are usually pretty interesting. When these idiots feel threatened, they yawn. Like it's literally a yawn. Like it's the same thing they do when they're tired. They yawn. I don't know. It's just their defense mechanism. Maybe it's because they open their mouth and it can look aggressive, but it's actually more a display of fear and anxiety. So I actually think like the plaque that I chose for the Tasmanian Devil here, you may be able to see it. Like I actually think that that's a yawn that it's doing and not like a yell.
Yeah, it might be.
But they are pretty cool. They're actually pretty cool looking too. They are literally like tiny black bears, and I am into that.
Yeah, they do kind of look like tiny black bears. You were right.
Next, we're moving on to the Wallaby. I didn't actually know what a Wallaby was, I think. I knew the word Wallaby.
Yeah.
But I don't think I knew what they looked like before researching this, because it's a funny word, and I didn't want to ruin it with what it actually is, which is kind of just a tiny kangaroo.
Yeah, yep.
They're apparently not very similar to kangaroos in basically any way other than looks. But that's what we would think they are based on a cursory Google search.
Yeah.
So the positive that I have for them is that they communicate by thumping their feet on the ground, hissing, grunting, growling, and freezing in one position. Huh. So these dudes
they just throw a tantrum.
They just growl at each other and stomp and play charades. That's the way that they talk to each other. Hey, can you get me a meal from over there? And they just like act that out through charades. The negative that I have for them is they are slow. I think I should put they're lazy.
No, okay.
I think they actually are slow, but I couldn't find any stats on like how slow they are, like what their max speed is or anything. But they're also lazy. Like they sleep about 15 hours a day, which when you're talking about a house cat that doesn't have to deal with any threats ever, gets their food served to them, is fine. But these idiots just like sleep out in the open for 15 hours a day.
They just get drunk and pass out.
I mean, come on. Wallabies these days just don't want to work anymore.
I just picture a giant field of these just all passed out in it.
Yeah, right? That's basically it.
Like, what would you do if you're in Australia and you just stumble over this hill and there's just this field filled with passed out wallabies?
Man, Australians just must.
Like one day you're stumbling into a field of trees that are just covered in spider webs from those giant spiders. And
you try to get away from that. Turns out that was the spider's launching pad, and you just get spiders rained on you another day in a different spot.
You're running away and you trip over. You're coming over to the top of a hill and you trip and fall and roll down the hill and just land in an entire field full of wallabies that are sleeping.
Wallabies. It's adorable. You get a quokka come up to you, ask for a selfie.
It just looks like Woodstock.
It's a fantasy land.
Just all passed out.
It's a fantasy land. I get why flat earthers think that Australia isn't real. Would you think that it's real? I don't think so.
I mean, I want to go there.
I do too.
That's my number one place I want to visit.
That's funny because that was one of my other words that I was going to choose here. That was going to be one of my questions: is where you want to go? So I kind of got a 2-for-1 here. Last but not least, the wombat. How much do you know about wombats? What's your baseline on these guys?
Not a lot.
Okay.
I want to say that. No, I know nothing.
Okay. These dudes have some of the most interesting facts about them, I would say. Overall, maybe not the most interesting, the most cute, the most prolific, whatever, but they have the most interesting facts. So, the wombat, when they are threatened, their defense mechanism is to dive into their burrow and to block the entrance with their butt.
Oh, okay.
So I said that, a lot of marsupials' tails hold their fat, right? And a lot of that comes down to the fact that the base of their tail usually terminates in a lot of cartilage. Mm-hmm. And that is this thing's defense mechanism, is that big, massive cartilage on their butt. So they block their hole.
With their other hole.
They block their hole with their hole. They block their burrow with their butt because it's cartilage. It's very resistant to scratches and bites.
Yeah.
But the interesting thing is, even if the predator gets past their butt, they have such strong legs that their defense mechanism then turns into crushing the predator into the ceiling of their den with their butt.
Oh, there's just wombats in the ground doing squats everywhere.
Essentially, yeah. Yeah, they are dumb.
You got wombats that look like Summer Rae out there, just
looking China
just wearing those legging spandex, just doing gym squats all day long.
Yep. Put them in those shaping spandex pants. Man, they are going viral on TikTok every day of the week. The negative, there wasn't much negatives, but I chose their poop. Their poop is cube shaped.
Wait, they have a square ass.
I guess. I don't know how it works.
I mean, if it's cube shaped, they just got a square turd cutter in there.
I didn't bother looking this up either. I'm going to go ahead and Google this right now because this is... Yeah, that's a cube. Those are sure as hell cubes.
picture a square cookie cutter that's just attached to get the Wombat's ass. Just,
yeah, man.
Oh, man.
All right. That's it. That's the 10.
Okay. So now we're putting them in order?
Now we're putting them in a tier list. Yeah.
Okay. Individually or together?
Individually. I don't think there's a need for a timer on this. I'll refresh your memory if you need, to be reminded of how cool or shitty any of these dudes are.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can just sort of go ahead and do it at your own pace.
I've already started.
All right.
This is a lot easier than I expected it to be because you helped. You explained everything, and that was very, very helpful.
Well, yeah, I couldn't expect you to know what a fucking Bilby is. So let's see where we're at.
Yeah, let's take a look. Pull yours up too.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
All right. You got. I appreciate that. I went back and forth on whether the Numbat should be S tier or not.
Numbat is too dope, dude. He's just a cute combination of awesome creatures.
Yep.
And then the other one's just too adorable not to be up there.
Yeah, the Quokka.
Like
I
might make one make a guest appearance in the episode art.
Yeah, that makes sense. I don't know. Just seems fake. It's too Instagram famous for me.
True. Wombats just made me laugh.
Yeah. Wombats are pretty cool. They really are. They really are A tier. We're in agreement on the Wombat.
Mm-hmm. And you have Possum. The Opossum as S tier. Huh?
Yeah, man. They're just so cool. Maybe it's my personal experience with them, being that they took care of those stupid groundies.
Yeah, I feel like the useful utility made you appreciate them more than most people.
They don't get the love that they deserve, especially here in North America. Like the possum is kind of some bullshit, but the opossum, just that little extra O, and they're very useful. I'm not sure if they have them in Australia, so maybe people don't think of them as marsupials. People think of them as like rodents, and there's some crossover between rodents and marsupials, but possums are cool. That's my hill to die on, I think, is possums are good guys.
I can respect it.
Yeah. So let's see. I have the Numbat in A. Like I said, I debated going S or A for that, and we're in agreement in A on the Sugar Glider and Wombat.
Yep. And then I have the Koala. Because they're just cute, and they're the classic marsupial.
Yeah, they are. I don't think they're very cute.
I think they're adorable.
Maybe that's my marsupial hot take, but I don't think they're that cute.
I think also a cuteness just plays a bigger factor in you liking things than you.
Yeah, probably.
You're like, this thing saved me from bees. I'm like, that thing's adorable.
I also opossums can be cute too.
No.
I don't know.
No.
I like them.
No.
I like how they look.
Well, liking how they look and being cute are two different things.
I don't know. They're just so cute. They got those sharp teeth, but they're not going to bite you or anything.
Yeah, they very well could.
No, they won't. They're very docile. You could have an opossum as a pet.
I'm good, son.
I get that. I totally get that.
I have possums in B because of the utility. So like they're cool because they're useful, but I'm indifferent about ever seeing one in my life.
That's fair.
Again, I guess. I mean, I've seen them before, but
yeah. I have the Quokka in B just because it's a gold digger, and the Tasmanian Devil. It's cool. I think it's cute because I also think that brown bears are cute, and this is just a tiny brown bear or black bear. Rather. Yeah. And they're just ferocious little things. I love them. They remind me of if a black bear and a badger had a baby.
Yeah,
it's the Tasmanian Devil.
I don't know. I just think that they were kind of lackluster. Like they had
I get that. That's why you have them in C.
Yeah, I just couldn't. I don't dislike them, but it's like the kangaroo. They're just kind of eh.
Yep. Basically. Because I'm in agreement with you there. The kangaroo is definitely
it's like outworn
C
as welcome.
tier. It's like I guess they're like the poster. They're like the poster child.
Yeah.
But I don't know. They're actually not that interesting. I had a hard time. Maybe this is also my perspective, but I had a hard time figuring out like facts about kangaroos. Like they're drowning. They're vicious drowning defense mechanism. And they can't move backwards are basically the most interesting things about them.
Yeah.
Other than that, they just kind of...
Other than the videos of the the one kangaroo getting slapped
Yeah.
by the other dude that tried
Yep.
to take go after his dog.
Yep. Kangaroo's got the dog in a headlock. The dude just bops it.
Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
most interesting thing about kangaroos.
Yep. I agree. Also, I got the Bilby in C tier.
Yeah, I got them in D.
Yeah.
They're funny looking, and that was the most interesting thing for me.
Yeah. I think this is the one where cuteness has played the most effect into my choice, other than sugar gliders, actually. Sugar gliders are incredibly cute, and they earn A. But the Bilby is cute enough to earn C tier. You know, C's get degrees, even though they're just kind of useless, and they may be the Easter mascot in Australia. So yeah, then we'll move on to, you have them in D.
Yeah, because
Which I get.
okay, so they would have been an F because they're basically just like a discount kangaroo.
Okay.
But the whole scenario of stumbling onto a field full of them made me laugh too much for me to put them in F.
That was Wallaby. Oh, is that what you were talking about? I was still in the Bilby.
Oh no, I was talking about Wallaby.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. No, I get that. I think I'm right there with you on the Wallaby. Except that I don't know. Even seeing like a field full of them wouldn't be that interesting to me. So they earn F tier for me. I didn't do my D tier though. Koala's D tier.
The disrespect.
It's just, I don't know. They're not that interesting. They're
just cute.
I guess not really. I don't think they are. No, I'm sticking to my guns. They're not cute.
I think they're cute.
D tier. They like 80% of them have chlamydia.
What?
Yeah, man.
Please tell me that's a fact you read somewhere and you just didn't spit that off the dome.
No, it absolutely is a fact. They're it's not as funny as it sounds.
I mean,
John
it is
Oliver,
pretty funny.
It's not really. John Oliver made a joke about it on his show one time, and then an Australian zoo named a koala chlamydia clinic after him. But it is actually like a serious problem in the koala community. Like,
I thought
there
you
are
were
some
going to say
communities.
that they named the koala chlamydia.
No. No. They named it after John Oliver. So there's the John Oliver Australian Koala Chlamydia Institute or something like that, which is very funny. But yeah, man, koalas, they're kind of too stupid to survive, honestly. Like, they have this big, they only eat eucalyptus, which is fine. There's 700 species, but they're also picky about the types of eucalyptus that they want to eat. And they're just fucking sexual deviants going around giving each other chlamydia all of the time.
So they're literally the humans of marsupials.
I don't know, man.
They're picky eaters. There's tons of options, but they don't eat all of it. They're sexual deviants.
Yeah, they're the preteens of marsupials. Yeah. And I have Wallaby and F tier. I think I already said that. So that's where we are. I don't know what to do with this at this point. I'm hoping that if we have some listeners out there who feel like taking some time out of their day, I will post the link to the tier list on our Twitter, maybe.
Yeah.
Where should I do it? I should put it in the show notes. I'll put it in the show notes.
We'll put it there and on the Twitter when we announce the episode.
So yeah, let's do that. I'll put it down in the show notes. Go ahead and click on there. If you're not into that or you don't know where to find those, head on over to Twitter. Click on the tier list, screenshot it, send it in to me. I'll try to, if we get responses, I'll compile a list and make a definitive tier list that I will announce at the beginning of next episode.
Noise.
And I think that's where I finished. Do you have anything else?
No, I
any
do
hills
like.
you want to die
this,
on, or
I do like this idea of getting them involved and get them to do the tier list. That'd be fun if you guys do them and tweet them back at us so we can see what everybody's take on marsupials is.
I expect a lot of strong opinions, a lot of hot takes.
Yeah. So I guess we'll stumble into my word then. My word this week is grill, because it's summer and who doesn't love grilling and grilled food. And that's all I could think about when I saw it. I was like, oh, that could be a good conversation. So I'm going to start out by asking you, what item can you cook the best, or is your favorite to cook on a grill?
Can I cook the best?
Yeah. Can you cook the best, or is your favorite? As in, like, you think it comes out the best, or it's your favorite thing to make? Or I guess technically you could, if you wanted, you could say what your favorite thing Nicole makes on there.
I'm gonna go a little unorthodox on this. I think you're expecting meat out of this.
No, I'm expecting whatever. Yeah. I mean, so many things.
I think the thing that tastes the best on the grill versus other ways of cooking it is corn.
Yeah.
Like grilled corn, just
phenomenal.
It's really just a cut above like boiled or even roasted.
Dude, I used to get when there was a food truck when I lived in North Carolina that I could get grilled street corn. When they put,
I've been seeing that's like a
butter and everything all over it. Oh, it's so good.
Yeah, that's a hot thing, is the Mexican street corn. I've been seeing that a lot lately. A couple Hello Freshes that we've gotten lately have had street corn as marketing. Honestly, we just fry it up, but it's fine. It's good.
Yeah, for me, I'd have to say it's got to be steak. There's just something about the char marks on a steak that just brings joy to my mouth. Yeah,
steak was a close second for me. It's it's transformative on a grill, but you can get that like in a pan too. So that's, I think, why I didn't choose it, because you can't get the equivalent with corn.
Yeah, I guess that's true. I don't know. There's something about it on a grill that's just so good. That's probably my favorite thing to make on a grill for sure. I get that. Do you have a favorite summertime food? Like something that you really only eat during the summer, or
I had a hard time thinking about this.
Makes you think of it?
I don't think there's anything that I only eat in summer, but the only thing that other people in my life make during the summer is mac salad.
Yeah.
That's like a summer thing. Nicole or her mother, summer hits and we got to have, our first mac salad of the season, which is really, really good. And, there's just like anything homemade, it just comes out a little fresher, a little lighter, and I don't know, just a little nicer than stuff that you'll get in the store, like mac salad that you get at a restaurant. Maybe oily. They may use Miracle Whip.
Yeah.
But a good homemade mac salad, so good.
I'm not a big mac salad fan at all. Not my cup of tea.
Well, you don't like mayo that much, right?
Which is so weird. And I'll lead into another question, so pause on the mayo. But mine, I feel like either not a lot of people are gonna have heard of it or even had it. But it immediately makes me think of summer, and that is mandarin.
You're still streaming, so it's mandarin orange Jello salad.
Yeah, have you ever had it?
No, I don't think so.
My grandmother always used to make it, so like anytime we would always used to get together for Memorial Day, 4th of July, all those different events, and this was like her go-to dish that she would make. And it's just like a light, fresh dreamsicle mousse, basically, with chunks of mandarin orange in it. And
now, is it made with like Cool Whip or whipped cream?
Yeah, it's made with like whipped cream. Or Cool Whip. Mandarin orange, like orange Jello packet, diced up mandarin oranges.
Okay.
And she would do some like portion of cottage cheese in hers for texture.
Ooh.
And it was phenomenal. Like all the recipes I found don't have the cottage cheese, but it added a really good note to it. It gave it a little bit of like tart when you would get chunks of it sometimes, and it gave it good texture, so it wasn't just like mousse.
Yeah,
and it counterbalanced the orange
that
really well.
I am into that, so I can imagine what this tastes like. I'm more familiar with like an ambrosia salad.
Yeah, which has the cherries and
it has the fruit salad in it, the canned fruit salad, so cherries, and then you also put in like sliced almonds.
Yeah.
But I do know what this tastes like now, given that I can picture what a orange slice out of an ambrosia salad tastes like, and putting in that cottage cheese flavor in there, a little tanginess. That sounds good.
Yeah.
I am into that.
It definitely really is. But bring back the mayo, your mayo point, because you beat me to it. That's gonna be my thing that people love that I hate.
Okay.
So when I was younger, it was all mayo. I hated it, but it was because I had only experienced like the shitty fast food mayonnaise or, your generic store mayonnaise. I don't like the film that it leaves in my mouth.
Yeah, I get not liking mayonnaise for a texture reason.
But like a homemade aioli or something, I can get down with. And I like other sauces that use mayo in it. It's just that shitty store mayonnaise texture, the greasiness that it leaves in my mouth, I don't like. What about you? Is there a food that you dislike that everyone does?
I'll say this on the mayo topic. I just recently bought Cupi Mayonnaise, which is it's like a Japanese mayonnaise that's only made with egg yolks and not the whites.
I see that all the time. There's a guy I watch, Sam the Cooking Guy on YouTube.
Yeah.
And he always talks about that. And now I've seen it in multiple other things. So I think it's a pretty high grade.
Yeah. I haven't actually tried it yet, but as soon as I do, I will report back to you and tell you if it does that filmy thing. Because I get what you're saying with that. It just doesn't bother me as much as you.
Yeah.
But yeah, a food that I hate that everybody else loves. Is that what we're on?
Yep.
I think for me it's tomato.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I dislike tomato as well.
Yeah. Raw tomato, like a cooked tomato, even a sun-dried tomato, I think I kind of like. But something about that raw tomato flavor just not great. I know that most people say that it's the texture, but even if I have just the flesh and get rid of the slime.
See, I feel like I was thinking about this because we talked about this not too long ago.
Right.
And I've come to think about this, like, biting into it. It's like a more watery version of a watermelon with a tomato taste. Like, it's not super strong.
So it's something like a watermelon, but nothing like a watermelon is what you just said.
Yeah, I don't know how to explain what I'm thinking, but like, how like a watermelon is mostly water. Like it's not a way the regular watermelon taste is not like your watermelon Jolly Rancher, like in your face watermelon flavor. I feel like that's what biting into like a tomato is like versus like a tomato sauce is much more vibrant and not just like watered down tomato.
Okay.
It was a long roundabout way of explaining it, I guess, but I think that's probably like tomatoes themselves water themselves down.
I don't think it's a good way of explaining it. You're saying you like a concentrated tomato flavor. That's what you're saying.
Yes.
Okay.
Look, I couldn't get out what I was thinking.
It was a long way to go, but at least it wasn't worth it. But no, I get what you're. I think I do get what you're saying. You chose maybe the worst possible example because watermelon flavor also doesn't taste like watermelon.
No, that's true.
Like, yeah, a concentrated tomato flavor. Like if you puree it and cook it down and really get it concentrated. Like, yeah, that's the flavor that we're after. And yeah, like it was like I'm Italian. I grew up Italian. And I think there was a while when I was a kid that I didn't even like tomato sauce. Like, I feel like that was about the time when people were trying to get me to like tomato. And they would give me like a tomato with salt and pepper on it, and I would just spit it out. And then I could actually identify it in the sauce. And I'm like, I don't like this. And then I got over that because, that was 50% of my diet as a teenager.
Yeah. Yep.
So I had to get over it.
Yep. Oh man, yeah, that'd be a rough one to not. There's a lot of people like that though, that like ketchup, that like tomato sauce stuff, but don't like tomatoes themselves. I feel like that's a really common one.
The only time I like ketchup is I'm coming around on ketchup. I didn't like ketchup for a long time.
It's surprising.
Period. But I always liked ketchup with Burger King's fries specifically. But I think I'm coming around on it a lot. I've had it, with more fries lately, and I think I like it more than I've given myself credit for in the past. So, I don't know. That's where I'm at with ketchup, at least.
Yeah. So we'll move into the opposite question now. What is something that you love that everyone hates?
This one was hard for me when you put it on here. I don't really know. The closest answer that I came to was olives.
Yeah, that's definitely.
I don't think that's
hated one.
I don't think that's particularly true. Like a lot of people like olives.
I do. I love olives.
The people who
black olives. I don't like green olives.
Yeah, a lot of people like olives, but a lot of people who don't like olives absolutely hate olives.
Yeah.
So I think that's where I'm coming from on this answer. It's not a great answer, but it's where I'm going. Olives. I like most olives.
Mine's
maybe one day we'll make a olive tier list, and I'll put Kalamata in D.
Yeah. But mine's black licorice. I love it, and there's a good portion of the world that hates it.
I don't like it on its own.
I love Jaeger. I love black licorice candy, like the hard candies. I love black licorice itself. I like the black licorice Necco wafers. Those are my favorite ones out of the pack. Like, I love black licorice.
I don't like black licorice on its own, but it is a good flavor in a lot of things. The drink that I had to start this night, that I've finished at this point, is, I can't actually remember what it's called, but it's absinthe and orgeat, which is a almond syrup. And I like that mainly because the absinthe has a lot of licorice in it.
Yeah.
Like, that's the main flavor of absinthe that people don't really realize is licorice.
Yeah.
So I like that, and another one of my favorite spirits, chartreuse, has a lot of licorice. It's like licorice and pepper are the main flavors. While you were here, did I have you try the Fernet Branca?
Is that the stuff that I brought out?
No.
No, you had
next time you're out here,
let me try the, what is it, Chambord or whatever you said it was.
Yeah, Chambord's a black raspberry liquor, but Fernet Branca is a liqueur. So it's not very high proof, and I guess in San Francisco it's popular as a shot, the way that Jaeger is popular as a shot everywhere else.
Yeah.
But Fernet Branca also incorporates peppermint into it, so it's like licorice and peppermint.
Oh, that sounds good.
It is really good. I've actually had a Jaeger and peppermint schnapps shot before, and that was really good. And the Fernet Branca just like sort of combines that with a lot of other herbiness in it. But yeah. That's all to say that I'm actually coming to appreciate black licorice as a flavor more than I did in the past, but I get where you're coming from. I still don't like it on its own.
I absolutely love it. But it's a common thing. There's a ton of people that absolutely hate it. I feel like it is that thing. For most people, it's either you love it or hate it. But it's definitely my number. If a flavor of something is available in that black licorice, there's a good chance I'm getting it. Like the candy canes, there's a place in North Carolina that had black licorice ice cream. It was really good.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That actually sounds good to me.
Yeah, it was very good.
I like I do like it as a component of other flavors. So like thinking of like a vanilla ice cream base with black licorice in it, that sounds good.
Yeah. So we'll move on to a couple more questions that I had about, food related stuff. If you could only eat one food item or meal, I guess we could say, for the rest of your life, what would it be and why?
Okay. So this isn't like a singular food. This is like you said, a meal.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I mean, like, you can't be like, well, I want steak and potatoes and this blah blah blah.
Okay.
Like,
got it.
I feel like those are separate. But like, if you were like, I want chicken parm. Chicken parm is its own thing.
Okay. Then I felt like I was cheating when I was thinking of this, but it's burger for me, like a burger.
Okay.
Like that's easily it. I don't know if it's cheating to say, because a burger can be whatever you make of it. But even just like a plain built burger with ketchup, mustard, and mayo on it.
So I can agree with that. Thinking about this question, after I put it down on the list, I really started to like try to dig into it, and it made me realize something. So yeah, I will first start off by saying mine is pizza, which I'm sure you probably could have guessed. But
that probably is a lot of people's.
I feel like when you think about like the majority of like good foods, like foods that you would hear people pick, hamburger, like a burger, pizza, tacos, all these top tier foods, like the things like the normal things that you would say from a cultural thing, like American for burger, that style of thing, is something that could house something else. So like you can put whatever you want in a taco. It's just a shell to hold something. You can put any toppings you want on a pizza, and it can be good. So I can have a pizza and put whatever I want on it, and it's still a pizza.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's like all these foods that are super popular, and you think about it, they're just really good at holding other things.
Yeah. It's funny because where where does that stop being like the food that it is? Like, pizza is some sort of sauce and cheese on bread, right?
Mm-hmm.
But like, at what point down the ladder does a burger stop being a burger? Can you just say sandwich to this question? Because you can put whatever you want on a sandwich.
I feel like you can.
Including like a fried
burger.
Beef patty.
Yep. I really think you could. That's the weird thing when you really think about it, is like you can make just about anything into something else if you want to.
Yeah.
So that was my thought process, is like there's just a lot of cheating.
Yeah.
I feel like if
tough.
you wanted to make it tough, you'd have to be like, you can only have pizza with tomato sauce and cheese.
Yeah, it has to be one,
and you can only have
combination of the thing.
A burger on a white bun.
I
with
think
cheese,
that's where,
ketchup, mustard, and onions and pickles, and that's the only way you can have it.
Yeah, I think that's where my line is cheating with this question. Is it has to be like, if you choose a food like a burger, a complex food that has a carb and a meat and sauce, it has to be one variation of that recipe.
Yeah.
If you choose pizza, it has to be, flour bread with tomato sauce and cheese and pepperoni, and only that. You can't say pizza and be like, well, today I want a chicken bacon ranch.
Today I want taco pizza.
Yeah, exactly.
Today I want chicken riggy pizza.
Yep. Today I want like a seafood scampi pizza.
Yeah.
That becomes cheating.
Speaking of, I feel like you would really like this pizza in Sally's, I think it's called, in Connecticut. Either Sally's or no, it might be the other one. God, I can't think of the name. One of the top rated places in Connecticut. They have a white clam pizza.
I've heard of that before.
Yeah, that's like a big thing out there, and it's supposed to be really good. Obviously, I couldn't eat it, but I feel like because you like clams and stuff, right?
I think so. I've really only had like fried clams.
Yeah. And
I think I ordered clams, like a dozen clams once. But I don't really have a lot of experience with clams, honestly.
I would love to do that sometime, though. And obviously, I don't want to try that, but just we should, if you guys are down, maybe just like me and Nicole take a trip to Connecticut, and there's like 6 or 7 like super high rated pizzerias.
That's very funny.
Because I would love to try all of them.
I know that like other areas, because we live in New York, right? So we are kind of stuck, even upstate, we're stuck in that sort of paradigm of, hey, a pizza's a pizza. And like you can't put a pineapple on the pizza.
Yeah.
But other places, they just get wild on it. I know that like Korean pizza places are just like, whatever. As long as it has a cheese and it's on some bread, it's a pizza. And even closer to home, like I know that Boston Pizza Kitchen is a thing, right?
Yeah.
And I think they have some wild combinations. So maybe that's what the Connecticut thing is, because they're closer to Massachusetts.
I'm not sure.
It's funny that that Connecticut seems to be a pizza hotspot.
Yeah, I don't know exactly why that is the case. But I don't know if it's just because you have like the competing thing with like New York and New Jersey being right there, and then they want to be like their own, so they're more common or more famous for like a coal fire styled real thin pizza.
Yeah, I get you. Let's move on to your next question.
So I know you're into drinks quite heavily, as far as like you like to try a bunch of different stuff. If you could,
maybe heavily is not the best way to put it. It makes me sound like a lush. But
true.
I do like to try a lot of different things.
I don't even mean just alcohol, though. Like you just tried a bunch of different stuff. But that's if you could recommend, or what is your favorite summertime beverage? Like something that either makes you think of summertime or is refreshing and that's like your go-to.
Yeah. You put like adult and non-alcoholic on the doc, so I think I'll choose one from each.
Okay.
The non-alcoholic's going to be harder for me than the alcoholic ones, because it's easy. If liquor is involved, it's going to be the Paloma.
Yeah, you really love them, huh?
Yeah, I mean, I I tried it for the first time maybe 2 years ago or something like that, with some, crummy tequila and like bottled lime juice, and it's just good pretty much in any, variation that you have it. Like you get cheapo tequila and like, ocean spray cranberry juice and bottled lime juice, and still good. But I'd like to, this year, my goal is to try it with like a fresh squeezed grapefruit juice, because I'm bougie like that, I guess, these days.
And I know you made one for Nicole while I was there, but did you try one with the new tequila?
I tried that one.
Okay.
I try almost all drinks that I make for other people.
You just straw it out, just a little.
Yeah, essentially, yeah. But yeah, I tried it with that. It was really good. My thing about Palomas is they're basically they're just so easy.
Yeah.
Especially like you could, do whatever you want with it. I kind of like using flavored sodas with them. Like I've tried it with, just when I was out of lime juice, I would do it with just grapefruit juice and then use like a lime LaCroix.
Yeah.
And that was, just as good. It's a little different, but just as good.
Yeah, Paloma's a really good base for things. Like you could add a lot to it to turn it into something completely different, but it's a really good base.
Yep. And because it's topped with seltzer, it's watered down, so it's not very heavy. If you want to spend a day drinking them, you can. You're not going to get sloshed. Unless you're really heavy, pour the tequila. Yeah. And a lot of tequila-based drinks are served with ice, too. I think that makes them great for summer drinks.
Yeah, I would
especially
agree.
If you're willing to put the effort into making a cocktail out of them and not just, dumping liquor in a mixer into a cup.
Yep.
But for non-alcoholic, that's harder. It's really hard to compete with lemonade.
Yeah, good lemonade is really, really refreshing.
Yeah, lemonade is just so good. But I will say that I have had these, I don't know, I find them in the international aisle. These drinks, they're like a coconut milk drink.
Mm-hmm.
They have these like, I don't know, gelatin cubes in them. So, but those have been really good lately. I can't figure out a brand, what brand they are. I can't figure out where to buy them online, but I find them in Wegmans. And those are good. They can be just like, I find a banana flavored one, melon flavored, mango flavored, which I don't get because I don't really like mango.
Yeah.
And then there's just a coconut flavored one. And they're all really good. Nice, light summer drinks.
Yeah. So I think for me, for my non-alcoholic one, I feel like it's tough to like really narrow it down. I mean, there's just so many good stuff, but I feel like it does have to come down to lemonade. I'd have to agree with you.
It's so hard to beat.
It's because it's kind of like the same. Lemonade is kind of like a Paloma when you think about it. Like it's good, and it can stand on its own because it's good, but it's also a really good base.
Yeah,
like you could put a lot of stuff into it and make it into an enhanced lemonade, and you're just like, wow,
oh yeah,
that really hits the spot. So like
even like what you can get away with calling lemonade, like the Calypso drinks, are all lemonades, but you try that blue raspberry one. Yeah, it's not very lemony.
No. So I just think that it's just too classic. It's just too refreshing. There's a reason that the kids were selling quarter cups at a stand back as long as we could remember in our history.
Yep.
And for me, I think alcoholic, I don't know. Like something about a seltzer just is perfect.
It's watery.
Exactly. They're light. They're like, I know a lot of people hate White Claw. A lot of people do. Although
people just want to feel superior.
Yeah. I like that White Claw is not ultra sweet.
Yeah.
In comparison, where like people have like the Trulies and stuff, they're just too sweet for me. I like that it's kind of dull and not super flavorful, but just enough. But it's just like crisp and refreshing. It's just there and it's palatable and not heavy. Because like when it's hot out, I don't want something heavy.
Right.
So those are probably my go-to. If not, it would have to be like a Caribou Lou or a Tequila Sunrise.
Yeah. Okay.
Something like that. If I could
I
get
think
one sitting out by the pool, that would be my...
I think a staple of the summertime drink is something that is served with ice.
Yeah.
You know, like a pina colada.
Yeah.
I thought of for this too. But yeah, the seltzer is a good choice because it's watery, and people like to feel superior by saying like, oh, it doesn't taste like anything. It does have a taste. It's just not sweet.
Yeah.
Which people think is what flavor is. But, you know, I'll talk to anybody who will listen to it about how hard it is to find a drink in America that is not sweet.
Yeah, you're ultra sensitive to sweetness too, I've noticed.
I like it. It's just there's a time and a place for it for me.
Yeah.
So like
I think you pick up stuff that I don't necessarily pick up because it just tastes like sweet to me.
Right. That's what I think is people think that sweet is, you know, taste.
Yeah.
Something doesn't have taste if it's not sweet. But try to think of a drink that is not sweet. Not even alcoholic. Alcoholic or non-alcoholic. Nope. That's usually sweetened. Like you can get an unsweetened one.
Yeah. I normally get unsweetened.
Yeah. Okay. I find more and more places do have
I don't
tea,
like sweet tea.
But it's also what has made tea so popular worldwide is that it tastes good without being sweetened.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. That's my little sweet drink rant.
It's a good one though.
I'm gonna get off of it because I can talk about this for too long.
Okay. Yeah, I guess those would be our drinks. And one of the other things I was thinking about too was, I guess it could be local or a chain, but is there like a go-to spot for you for some food in the summertime? Like what's the food that you want to go get in the summer?
Yeah, I don't know if I have something like this.
No?
I know in, you know, where we grew up, Utica, like there's at least one place that is only open during the summer because it's just a roadside thing. Mm-hmm. I can't think of any places like that out here, so I don't think there's any place that I would limit myself to only getting in the summertime.
I think there's one that you're not thinking of that I know that you enjoy that's only open during the summer. You may not have been to it, the silo.
Oh, I think that's open year round. They have an outdoor space that they like tape off and put heaters out on the deck. I don't know.
I just remember at one point you said that they weren't open when I was gonna.
Oh.
And try with you.
That was, I don't know. That was back in college.
Yeah.
We've gone back since then, and they had the heaters.
Okay.
What we thought was an off time of year. So I don't know if they're open year round now or maybe not. But,
yeah.
I haven't been back there in years. It's been literal years now that we've been back there, especially since the quarantine. We haven't been back, so that's at least 2 years.
Yeah. I just remember you praising it highly when you were in college.
Yeah, they were really good, but that's again out toward Buffalo.
Yeah,
we have to make a trip out there to get that if we want it. I don't think there's anything out here in Rochester like that. If there is, I haven't found it yet because Rochester's like not a city that opens itself up.
Yeah, it's not pouring out its soul like Utica.
Yeah. Or Utica, you are required to find the holes in the wall.
Yeah. It's so true.
But yeah, Rochester, you can just deal with chains or at least like small franchises.
Yeah.
And that can do for you for a while. But all the places that I think of when I think of this question are in Utica. It's Voss or Ice Cream Factory.
Yeah, it's Voss for me, man. There's just something about a chili cheese dog in the summer.
Yep.
That just makes me know it's summertime.
It's those pork barbecues for me.
Yeah, that's their popular stuff. I don't know. There's just something about it. I wonder if that's just a thing for us. I wonder how many other people experience that.
I don't know. I mean, maybe it is just an artificial scarcity thing. It's they're the Nintendo of restaurants.
Well, I think for that situation, it's like there's no other place to get a chili cheese dog really around here any other time of year. Like,
yeah,
it's just not. There's not a lot of like hot dog places. Like down in North Carolina, there was a place called PB's, which granted they don't really get winter, but it was open all the time, and that I used to get that all the time, and it was a hole in the wall, only takes cash, and this was at this time it was like 2018, still only taking cash, and like it was only open for like 10 till 7.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Just I'm talking just lying around the building type deal, but it was just something about that. And like you can't get that up here unless it's summer and you can go to Voss.
Yep. I know that Voss has like a local hot dog supplier. It may take some work, but could you find like another place that uses those hot dogs? Maybe they do a chili cheese dog year round.
There's not a lot of places to just. A hot dog is not a popular restaurant item. I don't feel like you never, unless you're going to like DQ like we went to, or Sonic.
Maybe that's a Utica thing.
It is. I mean, like, well,
I think that's a Utica thing because we
definitely is. When you think about it,
we have like major hot dog brand out here in Rochester, Zweigels. They're just like.
I mean, you could get one at Five Guys, I guess, but like,
that's not the same.
Other than that, there's no like. You think about food, you're going to get like Italian pizzeria.
Yeah, I guess.
There's just nothing like.
There's
not a lot of American food places where we live.
You're right. You're right. I'm right. Who said it? I don't know. And I think it's a Utica thing because Rochester, we have Zweigels. You go to a Rochester restaurant out here, you can probably find a Zweigels hot dog on the menu.
Yeah.
In Buffalo, there's a chain called Ted's, I believe. It's just a hot dog restaurant.
Yeah.
I mean, it feels like that's just a.
It feels like Utica. Feels like there's like we're above the dog thing. Like nope, there's just not. God, I need to start just a hot dog restaurant. We're just all crazy hot dogs. You know what? It absolutely is. I'm just thinking around the state. You go down to Long Island, they have Nathan's hot dogs everywhere. Yeah. I mean, you go to New York City, you could literally walk down the boardwalk and get Coney hot dogs like all over the place. The Watkins Glen race is sponsored by Salen's hot dogs. Like there's just Well, I mean, then there's like Honest John's. I think I think that's the one that Voss's uses. You could probably just find another restaurant that sources from Honest John's locally. That's the thing. There's just not a lot of places that's even a thing. So I'm saying, like, go to these places, like, where are you going to order a hot dog? What about those, like maybe they have them and it's on the kids menu. The, like, old-timey looking sort of restaurants, like you might go to a sock op, like Nicky Doodles or something. Yeah, they have. They gotta have hot dogs. They do. Yeah, there's one in Rome. The other one's closed. Oh, well. What about the thing that took its place? I don't know. They might have it. It's not important. Yeah, it just, man, I just realized that's probably why, because there's no. Yeah, that is very weird. I never thought of it. It's like you go to like Chicago and stuff, like that's one of the things they're known for is like their hot dogs. Yeah. There's not even a Sonic. No, there's not. You could get a hot dog, a DQ. That you could get a hot dog. There's like no, like you're not getting a chili cheese dog unless it's at Voss in this area. How weird. Yeah, I think that's probably why I associate it with it, and like that's my my thing. Well, and it makes sense because you remember how much I loved your father's hot dog when he would make them when we were younger, like with the buttered buns that are grilled, and I loved them. Those were the cheapest, assiest hot dogs that you could possibly get. But it's, I mean, that's basically how Voss's makes them, and they throw chili and cheese on top. Yep. Maybe next time you come out here, I'll have to make you like have you ever had a Zweigels hot dog? The times that you come out here? No, but because Zweigels are good. I'll have to make you one. If you like the cheap ones like that, then you really love Zweigels. I like all. I haven't had a hot dog that I didn't like. I would think Honest John's, Snappy's. That's fair. Ballpark, like they're all. I mean, let's be honest. Hot dogs are not a real big delicacy. They are what they are. Yeah. It's like bologna. You kind of just accept what it is and eat it. Yeah. Well, you gotta understand hot dogs, or else they'll get the best of you. Yep. There's just something about that chili cheese dog that is perfect. Yep. I haven't found a good chili to do like a homemade chili cheese dog. You gotta make it, man. I'm telling you. That's what we should do next time I come out. Let's just make chili cheese dogs. Yep. We'll make our own chili, grill hot dogs. Do you like beans? No. Do you like beans in your chili? Beans have no place in chili. Good. You got that. At least you picked up that from the Southerners. Yeah. No. Absolutely not. And when you put beans in it, it's not a chili. It's just like a stew. No. Chili has one form of protein. Yeah. It's either meat or it's beans. I'm just no. Gotta be meat. Yep. No. All right. Anything else we need to talk about, or should we start wrapping it up? I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I can think of. No, I think that's probably the end of it. All my brain dump for grill for this week. think we touched on everything.
Yeah, that was a cool topic. It's nice. It's a nice way to ease us into summer since
I know
we don't get that in New York. It goes from, it could snow next week and then it could be 90.
Oh, yeah. Saturday, 90. Ugh.
Is it supposed to be?
It was this last Saturday.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
And I was 4 hours
It's hard for me to tell.
Outside.
It's hard for me to tell temperature above like 82. Above 82, it's just hot to me. It's just unbearably hot.
Like, absolutely not.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's hit some with some acknowledgments. And I acknowledge Josh Wardle, the original creator of Wordle, and then Freddie Meyer, the creator of QotS, which we are based upon. You can find him at QotS on Twitter. If you enjoy this show or you play QotS, be sure to donate a coffee to him. Helps him add new features to this, as well as expand the QotS family by adding merch and stuff into it, which I'm excited for. That'd be fun to have QotS shirt or something to just kind of associate with this.
Yeah, I'll probably be jumping on that as soon as that comes out. You can follow us on our socials. Twitter, we are at Quord on the Street, QUORD on the ST. Instagram, we're Quord on the Street, spell it all out. Same on YouTube /Quord on the Street. If you're listening to us over there, like, subscribe, and comment. And wherever you're listening to us, whether it be Apple Podcasts, Good Pods, Spotify, whatever, go ahead and leave us a review so that we get it seen. It really helps, is what I'm told.
It definitely
We're waiting for our first review.
Definitely does. Yeah. And if you're listening to it in some other format that doesn't give you the option to leave a review, or you just have something you want to recommend to us, either a new style of episode or a specific word that you think could have been cool and what you would have done with it, or even the tier lists, you can email those to us at quordonthestreet@gmail.com. We are working on a website that's going to be quordonthestreet.xyz when that is finished. I am working on that, so hopefully in the next week or so we'll have that up and running. You can find us at our personal Twitters. I'm Scuzzy.
That's right.
I am SKUZZEY.
And I am at V_C. Spell out the underscore. And with that, we'll just ask you to
get the cord out.